Hey Team Phoenix, welcome to another show of the Social Sales Engineer. Welcome everybody live. As usual, please comment, use the comments, ask questions, tell us what you like and you don't. And also, if you watch the recording, welcome. Also shoot us some messages. We will see them afterwards. It's a pleasure to have you all here. And it's a pleasure to introduce Stephen Petrock. He's with me here today. Stephen is actually entrepreneur. He started his own venture, but he was solution consultant up to August, I believe. He is a webinar expert, and he's very familiar with sales trainings, especially demo trainings, right? And presentations for pre-sales. Welcome, Stephen. Did I forget anything?
No, that was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much, Patrick. Everybody, welcome. I'm really happy to be here chatting with Patrick, chatting with you all in the comments. And I look forward to continuing the discussion when you all watch this recorded live, when it's posted up on YouTube or somewhere on LinkedIn. I'm looking forward to continuing the discussion. And Patrick, thank you so much for the warm welcome, the introduction. I'm really happy to be joining you today.
Thank you. Great. And there was something you said when we first met. You said, I want to come back into the community. Can you elaborate on that, what you mean?
That's right. Yeah.
In this moment?
So I've had a really interesting journey. I was in the engineering and technology space as an SE, and I was really in this this technology, this brand, the best brand in the world for engineering software. And I was really involved in that community. And now I've left to begin my own venture. I've learned in that decade or so that my true passion is in public speaking, presenting, technical demos, and then the whole, solution consulting overall. So I kind of made a transition, went out on my own, and I then was exposed to a new community that I recognized was a way that I could enter the community. I saw this thriving SE world with a lot of people with a lot of different roles, different companies all over the world. And I saw a lot of similarities there between that cult-like following of the software brand. And now I'm starting to recognize that there's a huge passion for the whole SE community, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. And obviously, Patrick, I reached out to you because you're a world famous author who wrote an awesome book, and that's kind of how we got introduced. I just reached out to you on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, Patrick, I love what you're doing. I love the things you're saying, and I want to get involved."
Amazing, and this leads me actually to the next question. How important do you think is something like LinkedIn? I don't know. I would leave it with LinkedIn because there's no other business network. So how important is a business network, especially for sales engineers today?
I think it's key. I mean, I think it's key. You can kind of think about it like an analogy of like a small hometown. Like you're in your little world and you don't really know what's out there until you get exposed to it. You could leave your small hometown and venture off into the big city. And then you're in the big city. In this analogy, that would be LinkedIn. You then get exposed to different cultures, different experiences, different histories, different pasts, different perspectives. And LinkedIn is really that big community. And I think that the whole big city versus small hometown analogy is really perfect for the way that LinkedIn helps connect people with all different experiences all over the world.
Yeah, that's great. Because it's also a bit my mission to say, look, guys and girls, of course, please use this platform for your advantage. There's one question I usually ask, and I would love to ask you this question too. What is, from your perspective, the biggest myth that sales engineers are told, or maybe tell themselves about social media? So what holds them back? What do you think?
I would say that the biggest myth is that LinkedIn is only for people who want to find a new job. I think that's when they start to really get involved in LinkedIn. I always used to say, like, I could tell you when a person was about to leave once I saw the circle around their face change from LinkedIn free to LinkedIn premium. I'm like, okay, that person's going to leave, because now they have LinkedIn premium because they're looking for a job. And LinkedIn is so much more than just a place to go looking for jobs. Of course, that is probably a fault of LinkedIn's own brand strategy, where they do have, Career Builder and LinkedIn Job Search, and all these things are really interconnected. But it is what you make of it, right? So it doesn't have to be a tool for that. It can be so much more than just a job searching tool. There's so much incredible content out there, and I personally use LinkedIn as my escape. I mean, I love business. I love the SE community. I love technology, and LinkedIn to me is the one place where I can go to just find and explore this type of content, this curated content that I really truly enjoy. It's a lot different than the other platforms that are out there, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, they all have their place for different people, and I absolutely love LinkedIn.
And what makes this content different? Or what are you looking to do, right? So why do you put effort into it? You explained it already, but what do you see as a great content? So what do you strive to create? And what is it you most likely interact with?
Yeah, sure. It's just people's perspectives from a business context. So their jobs, the articles, the things they're sharing are a lot more business related. So that's really it. It's the place to go to get business type content. And some of that stuff is the most interesting to me, of course. I'm a huge nerd for it. I absolutely love it.
And do you look for knowledge, or do you enjoy the entertainment when people talk about, maybe I failed there, or I had a huge success, or I praised someone else? What is it?
Sure. So I don't look for, I of course love to share in everybody's successes, but there is, the concept of the LinkedIn flex, so to speak, where you just start bragging for the sake of bragging. There actually is it's become a satire in and of itself. So that I do enjoy the comedic value of something like that, of course. I like the business humor, the business entertainment, of course, but just really connecting with the community, knowing what everybody's up to, seeing their, hey, like I see a lot of Salesforce content online, and the Salesforce people are always talking about, oh, I was at this conference, I met Mark Benioff, I'm in the office now. So, it's a lot of cool stuff there. One of the biggest things that I saw was a connection on LinkedIn posted something about, if you attend Dreamforce, you get a free Disney Plus subscription. So I took advantage of that. So that was one of the biggest things for me. One of those.
So pure value.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tangible value. Let me ask you one more question about the social realm. So when we get new people into sales engineering, and sales engineers start out on social media. Is there any advice you would give people who start their journey? I mean, as a sales engineer, or even on social media?
Sure. You have to put some effort into it, right? And you get what you put into it, so to speak, right? So the more engaged you are, the better the whole experience as a whole is going to be. So it doesn't cost much to just throw a like, celebrate, add a comment, share things. And then that helps really distill some of the best content out there to the top, so that everyone else can see. So people don't really recognize that, okay, they saw something and in their head, they liked it. There's a huge difference in terms of surfacing really good content between you mentally offline saying, oh, I like that, that was a great article, to just pressing that button and liking it. So then that doesn't cost much at all to do. It's just, it's less than a second. You can press that button, and then it helps kind of share that content to the surface, right? It helps that really good content bubble up.
Absolutely. Yeah. So don't be shy to like something.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing, right? Don't be shy. Don't be shy to like something. And one of the other biggest pieces of advice is don't be shy to share something, right? Don't be shy to put something down, talk about your experiences, share an article, share a book, share a quote, share something on a different platform that you saw that you found interesting, like YouTube. There's a lot of great content on YouTube. If you found a video that you liked and you want to share it with your professional connection, share that on LinkedIn. Don't be shy to share those things.
Yeah. What I would add though is like curate it a bit, right? So don't do an empty share. I like to say empty share. Like you just hit the share button and send, right?
Yeah.
In the best case, you actually make it your own post. Like get the content out there, curate, right? Post the link yourself, and get your opinion why someone should watch it, right? I think this is kind of crucial compared to like effortlessly like sharing whatever your company shared, right? Which always looks also a bit ugly. I don't know if it's just my feeling, but if I see something in the feed, it disturbs me a bit.
A little bit, yeah. I think you're right about that.
Okay, there's a thing that I love. Especially as a topic, and that's creativity. Just your opinion on that. How do you feel like when you post regularly, you need ideas, right? So that you need some creativity in how to write this, how to frame this, maybe make a nice story out of the whole thing. How do you come up with ideas? And do you think creativity is God-given?
Okay. This is a great question. Is creativity, are you born with it, right? Yeah. Or is it something that you can learn? And I think, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't, obviously some people are a little bit stronger when it comes to being more creative in art and content and writing, right? But I don't think that it's not out of the reach of someone who were to put in enough effort to really think about it, right? So sometimes it just comes easier to some people, and others, I think it might be just a little bit more difficult. It might have to have a little bit more effort. There might be a little bit more momentum that needs to be built up to be a little bit more creative. I think it's more like a flowing mindset as opposed to just a soft or hard skill. And I think that's a little bit more, it's a different way to think about it. And sometimes it just comes easier to some people. That's what I think. That's what I really think the difference is. And I think the people who are really good at it, they were kind of like, I like to think of it as like they're an overnight success that was decades in the making, right? They probably spent a lot of time journaling, practicing, reading, doing things that got them exposed to those concepts, to those words, to those phrases, sentences, to the ways to talk about things. That I think that is what helps enable people to do it easier than others. And, really just don't make perfect the enemy of good. Don't sit and just stew over the content so long to come up with the best phrase. I think in the LinkedIn terms, it's really a volume game. In social media, it's volume. Posting regularly, contributing to the collective community, right? That's what I mean by contributing. I think it's a volume thing as opposed to no one gets an award for this was the best piece of content ever. They get rewarded consistently through the likes and through the sharing. And content over time does have an expiration date. It just does expire, right? In the social media world, it is really short-lived. So how do you combat that? Well, post more, right? And then as you post more, you then get better at it.
Yeah. Definitely trust the process. Yeah. The more you write, the more ideas will come.
Exactly right. Yeah.
There's a guy named, I follow him since years, James Altucher. Maybe you've heard of this guy?
I haven't. Tell me about him. I might have to follow him.
No, look him up. He has, I don't know why. I'm German, but I found out about him. He's purely US, known US, in the US, I think only. I think it was because of Bitcoin. Years back, he was pretty strong in that and had some ideas. But he has this concept of an idea machine. So what he does, he says he was broke like several times, like married and again crashed the marriage and so on, right? He lived on the street for some weeks and stuff like that. Millionaire broke, and stuff like that. So, and he said he came out of that by making himself an idea machine. And all he did, he wrote down 10 ideas for a random topic, right? He came up with a random topic every day and wrote 10 ideas, like 10 ideas for a newsletter, or 10 ideas how to get a new wife. I don't know. And actually, I did this, and it really works. You have ideas in every situation because you prime your brain. Like whenever you need some inspiration, look up James Altucher and get one of his books. It's really good. I wouldn't believe it, but yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's funny. I'd like to add to that a little bit, because you're reminding me of another concept that I subscribe to a little bit from another gentleman. His name's Gary V. Yeah. One of my people I look for inspiration, and he has a social media strategy where he says it costs $1 a day to be really into the contributing on social media, and he says it's in English, we have a phrase, this is my 2 cents, right? So like my thoughts on it. So you just write your thoughts. It costs you quote unquote 2 cents. So then if you contribute 50 times a day, it costs you $1, right? So the 2 times 50 cents, 50 times 2 cents adds up to $1. So it costs you, in your opinion, in your content, in your thoughts and words, $1. And it really goes to show that, you know what? That's a lot too. 50 things in a day. If you're busy, 50 is a lot. That's a big number to be contributing, right? So maybe just 10 cents a day, right? Do it 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. And it works. And it gets easier, like when people start posting and mentioning you, right? And you can give these things back. And this becomes a snowball, and then what's the English word for the huge snow thing?
Avalanche.
The avalanche, right? Exactly. Yeah, it really works. So create, and things will come back, like you said before, right? What you give to it, it comes back, and things become easier. Yeah, I think the push you need at the beginning, you just need to get through this for a certain period of time, and then things come back like you would never have expected. That's pretty great. There's MJ DeMarco, that's another guy I follow, again, a US guy, I don't know why. And he has the concept of echoes. So whenever you have an entrepreneurial kind of way or things you want to achieve, you create, and then you listen for echoes. And even if they're tiny, right, you're on the right track, because sometimes you're like, success doesn't come, but yeah, maybe some people spoke to you about echoes, right? About your concept or whatever, and that's an echo, right? And you acknowledge them and say, okay, it worked. Go on. Yeah, absolutely. And that's pretty cool. Yeah, creativity is really a big topic. Yeah, and I know. Let's go to your what I like about you, your experience in training pre-sales. Like, and then you did or do still demo trainings, right? For Demo to Win.
Yep, I'm still doing demo. I'm doing demo training now. Yep, with To Win. And then before that, I was an internal kind of demo trainer with the company. Before that,
okay.
Spends a lot of time practicing the demo craft. That's for sure. It's a huge part of the SE role.
How important is creativity? I know the Demo to Win training, so there's this limbic opener, right? And you want to inspire like your audience and open them up, but it's often not so easy to find a limbic opener, isn't it? So how important is creativity there, and what do you see or saw your students actually do?
I actually think I have seen so many, over the years of doing this, over working with so many people with my former company, I have seen so many ways to open up a demo that I don't even think I have at this point an original one, to be honest with you. I have taken so many great ones from some of the best demo people in the world. Definitely. And again, I don't think I don't really think that's a skill that you're born with. I truly think it's being exposed to so many people's perspectives, some of the hobbies that they have, where you can start to learn from them. They might share personal stories, they might share anecdotes, right? And then you can learn from them, right? You can learn. So say, for example, someone is really into basketball, you can learn how to connect a basketball anecdote to a technical demo, right? So being exposed to that, that's one of the easiest ways. And then you can take all of that information that you're seeing from
Yeah.
other people's stories. You know, success leaves clues along the way on how to be successful. The people who are successful are leaving clues along the way. And as long as
Yeah.
you're open to actually seeing the perspective and trying to learn from their experience, it's going to be one of the easiest ways to really improve yourself.
Okay, and is there something you have learned by training pre-sales professionals?
I see a lot of, and I used to do this in the past too. We used to come up with a one-to-many demo, and I think one of the biggest barriers to delivering good demos is understanding that a standard demo, like a harbor tour demo, that concept really should be a thing of the past, and a true demo should really be connected to the audience. And that basically means tailoring your message to every different audience. Just because I always urge people to reconsider, and I used to do this in the past, reconsider what truly is a demo. Just because you're showing software doesn't necessarily mean it deserves or should be properly called a demo. Start calling things what they are. Is it a demo? Is it a proof of concept? Is it a training exercise? You know, is it a validation exercise where they give you a list and you have to prove out all of these things, check the boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4? Are you working with a implementation team where you need to show, hey, how does all of this work? You know, you have to do that as well. So SEs don't just do pre-sales demos. There's a lot of different roles and different hats that you have to wear in that role. And that's one of the biggest lessons that could be learned is, hey, let's call it what it truly is. And then we're going to put on a different hat, and actually labeling the things properly, I think, is one of the biggest barriers to being successful. You don't want to be doing a demo that could have been a YouTube video, right? Just like how you don't want to be delivering a presentation that could have been a PDF attachment to an email, right? Like, if the stuff can stand alone without you, the SE, then it probably should be an email instead.
How do I convince my account executive that he agrees to that concept? Like, okay, no, I don't do a demo, but yeah, I have this video.
I mean, that's that's a great topic. Oh my. You know, are you able to just stand your ground and say, no disco, no demo, right? No discovery, no demo. Can't do it. Nope. Because if you say that too many times, you might not have a job anymore, because then all of a sudden no one wants to work with you. So you do have to play nicely with others. You don't want to be that person that no one wants to work with. You won't work in that company, right? So it's tough. But once you take it to a value conversation, like, hey, Mr. AE, what's the purpose of this? Oh, they just need to see it. Well, listen, if you want to shorten the deal cycle, send them a video, and then we'll have a follow-up with them. There's so many pieces of technology that are out there where you can follow up with videos. You can see you can watch how long they watched it. You know, there's all these amazing tools out there that you can use. And then you start changing around the way the sales process works. So that's one of the biggest things, right? You're not going to just convince them overnight. But if you start planting the seeds on, hey, this will shorten the deal cycle, you'll actually be a lot more successful than, because what it comes down to really is, what do they need to see, right? Why am I just pulling out this standard demo that I've done 1,000 times, right? I'm not on a road show where, hey, I'm just doing this to check a box, right? That's not what it is. It's a lot of times rethinking the way the deal cycle is done. So the sales cycle, does it involve a demo? Like, checkbox kind of thing, then you can change the way the sales team, whether it's BDRs, inside sales, account executives, outside sales, the way they think about their sales process, right? So internally speaking, a lot of times they basically are measured on how many phone calls and how many demos they book.
Mhm.
They're kind of just getting to the demo to use that as a crutch in the sales cycle. And that's not going to be helpful really for the prospect, for the company trying to sell their solution. That's really what needs to be changed, and understanding that, hey, this demo that you're booking, you're using as a crutch in the sales cycle. And we could make it be so much more than just that.
How would you change it? What would be the perfect path, like for a deal using the full power of a pre-sales, right? All
Right.
your skills and traits and what you have to give.
Sure. Well,
It's an unfair question.
wow. So I really think that if I saw something a couple of days ago that said that if the prospect is listening to you, then it's not a prospect at all. They're just a student learning about you, the company. You need to flip it around so that you're listening to the prospect, right? To the potential client. And once you change those roles, you're coming with the information. Then you have enough information where you're now going to do a demo that relates to that. So I think just switching the roles is a key part of it. So then we're now switching the roles. We then are set up to have a process where we're in listening mode, understanding mode. The word for that in a pre-sales cycle is discovery, right? So we're understanding the client. And then from discovery, now we have discovery. Now we can do a demo. So it's not just hearing what they're saying, it's really truly understanding why they're saying it too. So getting to the why, uncovering that why for them. Then if you're not able to do that would be kind of where a novice or inexperienced BDR would be then kicking it up as a quote unquote qualified deal. Like, okay, sounds like you're really interested. How about a demo? Like that phrase, how about a demo, is one that just should be like made either illegal or like they have to pay a fine if they say it, and their phone calls. Right. So how about a demo? That's one of those phrases that makes me like kind of cringe a little bit on the inside.
Can I let me be provocative?
Okay.
No, it's really like, I just had a thought, but well, I think it's okay. Like BDRs need to do that because in some way they can't now, say like they shouldn't or couldn't say it different just to protect the sales engineer, right? Just in quotes. But what I believe is that once the pre-sales enters the deal cycle, they need to shape it. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
So because the BDR does it for a reason, like they want this meeting, and that's great, right? And because the AE can work further, and then maybe at some point the pre-sales comes in. Yeah. So just a thought. Like, what do you think about that? Maybe I can give you this, take away the cringe.
So, I mean, what do you mean by shape the deal, like shape the process? Kind of, can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Yeah. So from my perspective, whenever we enter a call as a pre-sales, we tell our customers, look, you are now talking to us, the pre-sales team, sales engineering team. We are the experts of the product and industry domain and so on. Here's how we make clients successful. And then we lay out a process, like an engagement process, how we work with clients. Yeah. So, and those are the steps we'll go through, right? And in the best case, the AE beforehand actually pointed to your LinkedIn profile and said, "Dear prospect, look up the expert. Stephen is coming." So you should understand how he thinks and what he will present. And this makes everything what's said before, like, disturbs it, right? So it's not there anymore. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we were promised to see a demo. We know. Yeah. So BDRs, and you will get your demo, and here's the process. BDRs say this very often, and that's okay. And you will get your demo, but here's the process. And at this step, you get your demo before we want to have a discovery, for example, or we want to have interviews with other people of your domain. Yeah. So that's how I see we as sales engineers can shape the whole thing and actually can leverage social media to to give the whole deal like some spin, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we really need to look at it as not just being masters of the craft, and the craft is pre-sales here, but really thinking retrospectively, like internally, how we are also the experts of selling this software, this technology, and putting into place a process that works well. Like I see it just happens this way. If you have your CRM dashboard, you're working on your deal flow, right? If the different stages in the drop-down menu are worded in a particular way, those are the words that the BDR team or the AE team is going to use. So all it takes is just a little bit of a process to outline the way to do it, and then we can go into our Salesforce dashboard and change it, or our Zoho dashboard and change it, right? We can always do that. Like that's what it takes, outlining a workflow, a process that is really repeatable. And what is the best way to do that? Well, I think having some policies like, okay, BDR team qualifies, picks it off to the AE and SE combined, do really in-depth discovery, and then if you need a demo, then you do the demo, and then your demo is tailored. But if they just want to see it, hey, show me it, that could easily be a video, right? I'm a huge proponent of it, if it being a video, right? So this is one of the initiatives that I took on at my former company, where we tried to offload a lot of the work from the SE team into just creating a library of one-to-many demos, little vignettes, demo video vignettes that could be sent out. We sold a really complicated a portfolio of engineering tools, not just one tool. It was a vast portfolio. So because it was so vast, different technologies, a lot of different features, a lot of different functions, people would be interested in, hey, I'm an air conditioning company, I need to see it for this. Then the next day would be, I'm an aerospace firm and I need to see how it works with jet engines. Then it was a bridge. Then it was a road. Then it was a computer. Then it was a pair of glasses, right? So it's all these different tailored things, still one-to-many, but created a library. That would be the standard demo. And then we move on to a really tailored, focused demonstration.
That's really interesting. I remember we did something similar at MuleSoft. So for middleware, because you had so many use cases, right? We built this library. How did you, and it worked pretty well, so as you say, but was there something that was challenging, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, it was really, so the director of engineering really saw the value, the directors of pre-sales engineering really saw value in this, and there was a lot of buy-in from the team to do that. So it was time. It was just, honestly, it was just throwing bodies at it to get that content created.
But how did you promote it internally, and how did you create a buzz that people like used it? But that's always the point. You build something great, stuff out there, nobody uses it. So
well, I mean, time kills all deals, right? So really shortening that deal cycle, getting the video out immediately when they have the live lead on the phone. Hey, they're having that conversation, they find out what they want to see, send it off instantly, and then follow up, and then the cycle moves along rapidly. It's just so quick. That's in a perfect world, that's how that would go.
So AEs just naturally use this, SEs not just, there was like demand for that.
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay.
the value really was recognized through practice. They used it once or twice and say, "Wow, this is really shortening my deal cycles."
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, it's a great application, right?
Imagine you pulling up calendar. When are you going to find some time? Oh, how about next week? I'm available. Okay, next week is Thanksgiving. It's already Thursday in the United States. Next week's a slow week. So right now, if they had someone on the phone, they could email someone right now with the video, and they would be able to continue the deal cycle. And then the week after Thanksgiving, instead of scheduling that initial call, they're now scheduling the quote unquote demo, the new demo 2.0, if you want to call it that, right? So, or some of the best AEs that I worked with didn't use a demo as a crutch, and they were able to do a consultative sales approach where it was AE and SE together selling via, without a demo, just via conversations.
Exactly. Okay.
Those are always the best to work with.
Yeah, that's great. And there's another benefit, right? You can't hit pause or like play in double speed, the sales engineer, but the video works. The real person, you can't. Nobody says stop, right? So you will use the hour, right? No matter if it's useful or not. But a set of videos where you can actually make your path through. And as far as I know, the software that does this today gives you these insights, right?
It does. Yeah.
So you would really see the customer looked at this video 3 times in this way and forwarded the video, right, to somebody else. So you got a new lead and you know exactly what they're interested in.
And I mean, I really feel like a lot of times now, I mean, right now it's 2021, but even like 5 years ago, 2016, 2015, the prospects were much more educated in terms of the tech and options that were available. We're not going door to door selling things, knocking on the door, hey, are you interested in this? That's not really how it goes. A lot of leads nowadays are coming from their inbound leads. They're coming from people who want info, want more information. They already are aware of the software, aware of the tech. So then you're having elevated conversations that way. And the deal cycles have changed significantly. A lot of times by the time people call, they've already seen a standard demo online, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, but most of the time they then want to know like the details, right? How does it really work? Can it be?
Exactly.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. And then you can have those conversations. Why do you need to know that? If they're really wondering how, there's probably a why buried underneath there somehow.
Yeah. Amazing. What still interests me, how many people have you trained on demos or given demo training to?
A lot. I can't count.
Hundreds.
It has been a lot. And then especially, a lot in the engineering space. So a lot of engineering demos, engineering software.
Okay.
My background is, of course I went to business school recently, but a long time ago, I went to school for mechanical engineering. So a lot of engineering type demos.
Okay, but is it different to those SaaS demos, like also software? So do you see a difference?
No, it's still the same format. I mean, in 2011 is when I got exposed to the demo to win training, and that kind of set my career on I'm so grateful to have gone through that at such an early stage in my career, where it basically steered the entire direction of my pre-sales career, to ultimately leading me to this point here where I'm able to deliver demo to win training and then the whole to win portfolio of trainings, on a regular basis. So is it different? What are the differences? No, there's no difference. There isn't, aside from the tech. Like everybody's tech is different. And now the software that I was demoing has changed to a SaaS model as well. Instead of like thick clients with applications installed on the computer, it's now web-based. So it's a lot of similarities that I see between SaaS demos through a web browser. It would be exactly the same.
Nice. Yeah, great to hear. And may I ask, is there a set of traits or something that really where you say people are so good and they do demos a certain way or maybe behave a certain way? I don't know. I'm secretly looking for some tips. So there must be something. There must be people when you train them. I know that when you have this coaching at the end, right? So you look at the results, right, and then you actually say this was good or you could improve or whatever. Maybe you give feedback also, right? Or the group does it. Who
Sure.
excels there?
Who excels? You know, it's consistent. And I can tell you when I meet a group who are going to demo, the best people that demo are the newest to the technology, because they have what we call the beginner's perspective. And then through experience, you lose that. And then your demos become a lot more complicated. You start teaching more than demoing. So the newer you are, the better you're going to be at demoing. Because sure, you know, you've been doing this for years and years and years, but this is maybe one of the third or fourth times that the client is seeing this tech. And throwing too much at them, they kind of shut down. So keeping it simple is a great strategy when it comes to demoing. And I mean, you kind of can't make it complicated if you're a beginner at using it anyway, right? And
I don't want to be unfair, but wouldn't it then make sense to have AEs demo?
I don't know about that. Let's not get carried away. No, I'm kidding. I think we forget that AEs are incredibly busy making their phone calls and
Absolutely
working with clients ahead of time, right? Setting up the prospects for the demo. Then the SE comes in, and we do lose that beginner's perspective. So in a demo, keeping it super simple, remembering what it was like when you first learned the tech is going to be key to it. But the difference then, with your experience, you can answer questions. Then you can always go deeper. You always are able to make that audible decision. Oh, do I explore this more? Do I go deeper? Do I peel back the curtain? Do I show them behind the scenes? That kind of stuff, right? That you can't do. So that is where you can rely on your experience. The only place you really can rely on your experience there. So the biggest tip there, keep it simple and try to remember what it was like when you first learned it.
Yeah, there is this mindset, like mantra, right? The beginner's mind. Try to keep that. Like everything is new every day, and I agree. I think that helps. That helps a lot. And the thing then is, and just to summarize this, I love what you say, because I do believe even a demo is or should be a natural conversation. Right, you're talking to a client, like talking about the issues, and then there is a problem they mention, and you pull up the screen and you go through maybe for 2-3 minutes, right? And you show that. So I think apart from every demo framework that's out there that give guidance, and that's great, but I think the real demo is without the framework, because it follows a natural conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So. And what do you think about demoing in the first call, like in the discovery call?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, it depends, right? You know, because there are things where demoing on the first call, there are things that I've bought just because I saw it, right? But then that's a B2C type approach, right? A B2B demo, B2B deal, I don't see a lot of success on like a first call demo. And, you know, so by success, I mean, you know, you could measure success in different ways. Is the purpose of the demo just to move the deal along? Then yeah, probably a first call demo is going to be successful. But remember that then is that one to many. If you're just showcasing the tech, art of the possible, harbor tour, then that has a particular place in a deal cycle for the right piece of tech, for the right solution. But enterprise level, really large tech, things that are going to be key pieces of technology that are more expensive, larger. I don't see why you would do that if you're just trying to streamline the process. Because if you're okay with duplicating efforts, because you're probably going to do that demo again, then I'm okay with it. Then yeah, I mean, as long as you go in knowing that you're probably going to do that demo again, they're going to need to see more demos. It's kind of, that's not going to streamline the process there. But if that's what it takes to move it along, we have to really think about what is our role as SEs, and our role as SEs is to move the deal along. And if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes.
Yeah. I'm really asking. So when there was startup time, I think it was 2015, I created one demo that was 15 minutes for a conference. And then I made it a challenge. I wanted to find out something because I had the feeling customers were just booking a demo with us or requesting one because they hadn't one. So what I did was in this 15 minutes during the discovery call, I said, let's go through that and let's talk about this. So it wasn't a harbor tour. It was very specific, but I trained this until I fell down. So every day I trained this demo, and the rate of the request for another demo, even custom demo, went down significantly.
Okay.
For me, that was like a revelation, because every colleague said, I will never demo in the first call. I said, I need to test this. So I did this 15-minute thing became a huge success. Yeah. Up until then, the library came and we could do things together, right? But I mean, for everybody who's watching, get out the challenge there, right? Try it.
Yeah, I want to see what do people in the comments think about this.
Yeah.
Can we ask first call demo?
Is this something you would do?
If the question is, would I do it? Yes, I absolutely would. Yeah. I will do whatever it takes to move the deal along, right? SEs are kind of like chameleons, and we have to blend into the workflow, right? Blend into the process.
Yeah.
So
no, it's about the conversation at the end, I think. Because what happened was this demo became second nature. I didn't need to think about anything. You just could talk. And with a more complex demo, maybe, and your thoughts, Stephen, were welcome, more complex demo takes actually a lot of your brain just to process and do the demo. So you lose connection with the people in the room, right?
Yeah.
So how often should I train a demo?
Always. I think quarterly. I think you should be demo training constantly. And you could self-train. Record yourself doing a demo.
Exactly.
Screen capture. And if it's good, throw it on YouTube. Throw it on LinkedIn. Now you have a demo, a piece of content you can share with the world.
Amazing idea. Amazing idea.
We're our own worst critics. And oh my goodness, when I would make some of these videos with the screen capture, I used to cut and paste a picture of my mouse pointer just to make sure the pixels were right. Like then I got so hypercritical, but then I started to notice those little things that really added up to making an amazing demo. Instead of wiggling my mouse all over the place, painting all over the screen, window washing, going from here to here to here to here, I got a lot better at it through practice and just record, just screen capture, not even on camera, screen capture your demos. And you're going to see such just a huge improvement just through yourself. It doesn't take anybody else you're going to be much more critical of yourself after you rewatch that. Just like I'm going to be hypercritical of myself after I watch this live stream, right?
Maybe, yeah. You should watch it anyways. You are doing really good, I think. By the way, you told me a story about you and an AE, I think, where you were really impressed. Or like a dream come true or something?
I was with an AE who actually subscribed with me to the no disco, no demo mindset.
Can you quickly explain no disco, no demo?
Yeah, disco is short for discovery. So
Yes.
if we didn't do discovery beforehand, we wouldn't do a demo.
Okay.
So,
Because I understood we don't do disco or discovery demo at all.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Just mean-
If there's no disco,
No
if there's
disco.
no discovery,
Yes.
then there's no demo.
Got it.
So we would go, this was back in the old days, pre-pandemic, right? Now everything is remote, but like we're talking over 10 years ago, driving along with the laptop and projector in the car, we'd go on site and pull everything up, to do a demo. And sure, like because it was such a large portfolio of tools, we would need to know, hey, am I showing this? Am I showing this? Am I showing this? What tech do I need to show? And we would always roll in to do a discovery call, like in person. We would do a tour of the manufacturing facility, get to know everybody, right? It was great to do it that way. And we would go in for a discovery, but a lot of times people were expecting to see the software. This was before YouTube was what it was and how easy all the content is to consume. They would want to see a demo. And he would just say, I wouldn't even know what to show you. It was just that little phrase. He would say it so casually, so cool. He was such a cool guy to work with. And he would just say, wouldn't even know what to show you. Let's have a conversation, figure out exactly what, where the fit is for you and this piece of technology. And then we can do a demo. We'll come back. And we closed some deals right there on in the discovery meeting without the demo.
About the demo. Okay.
Yeah. It was
That's
good.
great.
That was great. And I think one of the other lessons from that was
wait a second. Let me ask a question.
Sure.
What was the intent of the AE? So did you have conversations with him about that?
Yes. Yeah. So I think one of the lessons there was that actually came from his manager. His boss was one of the best sales managers I've ever met, I've ever seen. And I think that came from his direction that, hey,
Okay.
if you're just doing demos, you're losing control of the deal. Then the prospect is in control of the deal. And then your demos aren't impactful. You're just wasting your time because now you have an hour scheduled. And if you're demoing for 25, 30 minutes in that's 25 or 30 minutes. You're not doing discovery. Sure, you could be testing the waters, right? Oh, did you like that? Did you see that? Those kind of questions. And that's not really a great way to move the deal along. But he would use that whole hour to really ask great questions and uncover truly what the prospect needed to see.
Amazing. And what did this do with the organization? So typically you have rumors, right? Or was it like, were there people that said, it doesn't work that way, we need to do it old school, or did people adjust?
No, word got around and yeah, absolutely. Then, there was even buy-in from the SE management that, hey, we have your back. If you want to not do a demo, that's okay. Start leaving your computer in the office so you can't do a demo, right? There was even things like that being said that, yeah, word got around and then it became a policy and an official policy and unofficial but stated policy.
Okay. One of the last questions now. I still want to hear maybe a story of your demo trainings where things didn't work so well and why. So is there also a kind of like scheme or something that happened and was maybe like, ooh, this was weird? Do we have some crazy stories?
So I was obviously, I came in and I was kind of younger than a lot of people who have been an SE for their entire career with the same technology. The technology that I was selling was from 1995, right? It was introduced to the world in 1995. And there were people who have been an SE with that tech 15 years prior to when I even entered the game, right? So then basically being stubborn and saying my way is the way to go, that led to some pretty heated conversations. And then they're like, oh, you skipped all of this stuff. It's like, well, yeah, I did on purpose. I skipped all of that because I'm not going to teach them how to do that, right? This is a demo. It's a pre-sales activity, not a post-sales teaching opportunity. Teaching, consulting, that was some of the biggest challenges. Some of the biggest challenges are some of the people who are just so experienced and stubborn. That's the combination that doesn't go so well. Being stubborn, right? Not wanting to learn new methodologies, new techniques, even not just a methodology, but like a technique. Just, hey, instead of doing this, do this one little thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen, you've been here at this company selling this technology for 3 years. I've been doing it for 23 years, right? Those kind of conversations are not productive for anybody.
No. Yeah, it's a difficult mindset for if you are a trainer, like if students have that, right?
Yeah.
It's tough. And how was the way you solved that? So did you do then one-to-one sessions with them to get them back on track? What's up? Or did you ignore it? Or what was your strategy then?
Kind of just ignored it because I had a lot of respect for them. The ones who have been doing it for so long, I really did have so much respect for that. They were really good at what they did, and I kind of gave way to them. Their experience kind of won over on me, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah, it's interesting. And okay, so nothing really weird though. I mean, I'm just asking one more time. Something that went really wrong. I can't believe that nothing went really wrong.
Yeah, no. How about next time? Next time I'll have some stories where it went wrong.
Okay. I got it. That's great. Well, I always have a last question for people who are on this show, and this is the nomination question. So for one of the next episodes, do you have someone in mind you would nominate as a guest?
I do have someone in mind. She doesn't know this, but she is a highly respected SE leader in the community.
Nice.
She's very, very involved in like the societies for women engineers, and
okay.
I think she'd be a great candidate for talking about her experience, that she has. And her name is Amy Magani.
Okay, nice. So, Amy, maybe you see this, maybe not. But I will reach out. Thanks for the nomination. Thank you very much, Stephen. Next week we will have. Is it the first woman on the show? I think Melissa van der Hecht. She is CTO at Kong right now, so field CTO. Very interesting pre-sales personality. So, Stephen, any last words you want to say? Anything to the community?
This was a real pleasure. I love the community, and we talked about the impacts of social media. I talked about how I saw the Disney Plus subscription, so I got something out of it. But I like to pay it forward and keep adding and contributing to the community, because there's a lot of great stuff out there. That's how we got connected, and I really am so happy that we connected, and I'm looking forward to staying connected more with the community here. And the whole thing was powered by social media, LinkedIn.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think we were connected in seconds. Like, okay, let's do it, and let's talk. Right? What about this? And let's talk about writing books. And
it's so great.
The show.
It really is. Yeah,
it's amazing. It's a wonder. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Welcome, Patrick.
Thanks for watching the show, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, and follow the little Phoenix up here, and we see us next week with Melissa.
All
Cheers.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Patrick.